So next problem. Show that the area of the triangle formed by the line y is equal to m1x plus c1, y is equal to m2x plus c2, and x is equal to 0 is c1 minus c2 the square whole square divided by 2 into modulus m1 minus m2. Given lines are y is equal to m1x plus c1, that is equation number 1, y is equal to m2x plus c2, that is equation number 2, and x is equal to 3, that is equation number 3. So x dash x axis, y dash y axis, and O is the origin. This is the first line, that is y is equal to m1x plus c1. This is the second line, that is y is equal to m2x plus c2. And third line is nothing but the y axis, because x is equal to 0 is the equation of the y axis. Right? Now we are going to take the point of intersection of the lines. A is the point of intersection of line 1 and line 3, right? 1 and 3, that is A. And B is the point of intersection of line 2 and 3. So line 2 and 3. Blue and green, first one, orange and green A, blue and green B, and blue and orange is C. That is the point of intersection of 1 and 2. To find the coordinate of A, right? That is, coordinate of A is nothing but point of intersection of 1 and 3. So put x is equal to 0 in 1, so y is equal to m1 into 0 plus c1. So we are going to solve 1 and 3 equation, right? Y is equal to c1. So point of the coordinates of A is 0 comma c1. So similarly, to find the coordinate of B, so that is point of intersection of 2 and 3. So put x is equal to 0 into, so y is equal to m2 into 0 plus c2, so y is equal to c2. So coordinate of B is 0 comma c2. Now to find the coordinates of C, that is point of intersection of 1 and 2. So 1 minus 2, directly we are subtracting. So 0, right? Y minus y. So y is equal to m1x plus c1 first equation, y is equal to m2x plus c2 second equation. So subtracting the left hand side, y minus y, that is 0, which is equal to, now coming to right hand side, m1x minus m2x, then c1 minus c2, right? So 0 is equal to, x is common, take it outside, m1 minus m2 into x plus c1 c2. So x is equal to minus c1 minus c2 by m1 minus m2. Otherwise you can write multiply with minus, so you will get c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2. So put x is equal to c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 in 1, because we need to find y. So y is equal to m1 into c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 plus c1. So taking LCM, m1 c2 minus c1 plus c1 m1 minus m2 by m1 minus m2. So multiplying with m1 c2 minus m1 c1 plus multiplying with c1 m1 minus c1 m2. Here m1 c1 minus m1 c1 plus m1 c1 get cancelled. So remaining term m1 c2 minus c1 m2 divided by m1 minus m2. So the coordinates of c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 and m1 c2 minus c1 m2 by m1 minus m2, that is C. Now the area of the triangle ABC, we know the formula half into y1 x2 minus x3 plus y2 x3 minus x1, then y3 x1 minus x2, right? So here x1 y1 equal to 0 comma c1 and x2 y2 is equal to 0 comma c2 and x3 y3 is equal to c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 comma m1 c2 minus c1 m2 by m1 minus m2. So substitute in the formula. So area of triangle ABC is half into c1 0 minus c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 plus c2 into c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 minus 0 plus m1 c2 minus c1 m2 by m1 minus m2 into 0 minus 0. So last term completely 0. So that is equal to half into minus c1 c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2 plus c2 into c2 minus c1 by m1 minus m2. So here in denominator mod m1 minus m2, take it outside, right? So 1 by 2 mod m1 minus m2, that is common LCM. So multiply with the C minus C1 in the first term, minus C1 C2 plus C1 square. Second term C2 into C2 C2 square minus C1 C2. So you will get C1 square plus C2 square minus 2 C1 C2. So therefore area is, so a formula A minus B whole square formula, right? C1 minus A2 the whole square by 2 into M1 minus M2.